Hi, yes, hello, welcome back. Today we're doing something fun. It's the 1 year kayak review. So what I want to do is share with you the things I really like about this Pelican Catch 110 High Drive 2. And of course, when I think about it, is it worth $1,300, $1,500 depending on where you get it from, right? Some places like $14.99, mostly it's $12.99. I got it when it was $11.99. You know me, I like things on sale. This kayak's initial draws for me were super simple. This kayak only weighed 62 pounds. That's the shell. You take the seat out, you take the crate out, all the extra stuff, just have the shell, you know, handles and such. You're talking 62 pounds. If you were putting your kayak on top of a car like I do, 115 pound shell is not something you want to play with. I do as little as possible lifting. 115 pounds is a workout when you get up there a bunch. At 62, I can sling this thing. The weight being one of the most crucial factors. Number two, the cost. All right, how important is that to you? It varies. If you can swing 4,000 for a Hobie, fantastic. After researching and looking at several kayaks, trying to figure out which one I really wanted to invest my time, money, I found this guy. And the number three reason being the capacity. It was almost impossible to say no. This one says up to 400, I think. I think it's another one of those. It's like 300 to 399. In the store, it says like 325 or something on the label, but on the website, it's a little bit different. But I'll tell you, this holds the weight. Okay, when I first got this, I was almost 280. I was at 277. I'm now down to 253, and I can stand in this kayak. It took me getting to about 270 before I was comfortable trying it like stable enough. And 7 pounds doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're talking distribution and you've got all this gear on it, 7 pounds is a lot. So why do we buy the Pelican Catch 110 High Drive 2 instead of a Hobie Outback, a Lightning, or a slew of the other ones, $2,000 or $4,000 that you can get out there, get on the water and have a really good time on? Weight, cost, weight capacity, features. All four of those combined mean you get a really good kayak here. Plenty of room for storage capacity. You can drill out, put another one there, a hole in the back so you could pop off your port cover, throw whatever you want into it. Just like all kayaks, some water does get down inside this hole, right? I find most of the water that gets in the hole comes down this hole. So if you're using that, be mindful. One of the cheaper pedal drive kayaks you're going to see out there on the market. You have probably the lightest one you're going to see on the market. I think there's one more by Riot that's hard to get down this way. It's a little bit lighter, it costs a little bit less, but it doesn't have any features at all. Scotty mounts, have my bungee ties, having storage capacity for future build out if I want it. That's nice. Storage under the space, plenty of deck room, rod holders, paddle holder, you know, everything that I could possibly need is here. Multiple handles. Yeah, features. So for this $1,199 kayak with a 62 pound shell and all these storage features, you also have a good weight capacity. That's important for cheeseburger guys. You know who you are. You're a cheeseburger guy. Now a question you might be asking is, how fast is it? It depends on you. If I'm really going, I can do about 3.5 miles per hour without exhausting myself for about 10 to 15 minutes at a time. If I want to, I can cover 4 miles an hour. I've really got to push. I'm normally doing speeds of somewhere 1.5 to 2.5, you know, just something comfortable. I'm just moving. I'm not in any big hurry. I'm not a professional. I'm not in the QC KBF. I don't want to come in last all the time. Emotional damage. I want to warn you of just a couple of things with it. Small things, but important for you to know. One, this screw here, this one you see, that is the sole remaining original screw and bolt that came with this seat. On the very second use, nuts and bolts started coming out. By the time summer was over, and I'm talking about, you know, August, like the end of it, we didn't have a single screw left outside of that guy. That is the sole original one. Sometimes I noticed on the water, sometimes I didn't. Something I don't like. So this strap here is designed to hold down the seat. Works great. You feed it through the back, you feed it through the front. However, it does come loose a little bit. I've never had it come fully loose and feel like I'm falling out, but I've had it come loose at the point where I was like, oh, I'm wobbling some, and have to tighten it. Not a problem, just a nuance, right? So when I say a dislike, that's small. The pedal drive system, there is no reverse on it. If you want to reverse, you can pop it up and flip it. I don't like doing it. It feels unnatural. It feels uncomfortable. This is drive number 3. That might scare you. That should not scare you. On the first one, you'll notice this little peg coming off here. That is a guide. That guide slides down inside this lock chamber and goes inside this groove. So you slide that down in there, you leave it in there and it locks. However, these have a tendency to break. It was an issue when this was strictly Hobie's model, to be the old Mirage drive, before the patent ran out and Hobie didn't renew it because they had better things than the work. Everybody's had that issue with those pegs breaking off. Pelican support, amazing. I emailed them, I let them know, hey, I've got a problem. This little plastic piece came off. It doesn't seem to be hurting anything. Can I get a replacement piece? What would it cost? I was fully prepared to buy like the body piece, you know, that entire black mass in the middle of the pedal drive for a couple $100. They sent me an entire pedal drive. I'm not talking about just the middle piece. I mean, they sent everything. It was new in the box. I didn't touch it until I was going up shallow with this guy. And I hit the bottom really hard, and it caused one of the cables to snap. The cable was probably already worn anyway, so it was probably gonna give out. I let Pelican know that the cable broke. I showed them the video, sent them the serial number. They didn't even ask for the video. Whole nother pedal drive. Dislike, if you want a fish finder, and you likely do, you likely want some kind. This is the second one I've had mounted on here. There is no transducer. There's nowhere you can put down the shell. Some of the kayaks I were looking at would have ports on the bottom where you could feed your transducer down and mount them in there, so you didn't have to have like this arm on the side. This makes it kind of inconvenient, right? I would like using this a lot more if my kayak had a mount, so I didn't have to fandangle with all these cables and stuff. If I only had to plug up a battery and seat my fish finder into the Scotty mount. The last thing I think could be improved on in this kayak, and it won't because this kayak's a few years old now, the rudder deployment system. I only say it could be improved on because the deployment method is manual, entirely manual. If you want this rudder down and you launch this kayak and you don't remember to deploy this rudder, you need to be able to stand up, lean over, unlatch it, or turn and twist, reach back here and unlatch it, which is a feat if you're a bigger guy, or use an object to reach back and get it. When I get in, I at least unlatch this piece. That's the tough part. Other things I don't like. When you can't think of the things you don't like, it means you got something you like. I don't like adjusting the seat. And the reason for it is it seems like it should be so simple. It's just this. But man, it slips. If you don't tie a knot in it, it slips. And if you tie a knot in it, you gotta fidget with it to get it out if you want to adjust it. And that's not fun. So seat design, that's a no-go. I would much prefer like some kind of latch lock, you know, ding-ding, like some kind of lift it up and move the seat back into a different position. I would much prefer that to these straps. Outside of maybe the drive not having reverse, outside of not having the port, the screws coming out of the seat, and not having a way to adjust the seat that's really convenient for me, I don't have any other dislikes about it. I really like everything about it. I know sometimes when I'm standing in it, it's a little more wobbly than, you know, like a Lightning would be, and especially a Hobie. If it was a Hobie, I could probably be $350 and get up in it. What I paid for here. I didn't pay for a damn Hobie. I didn't even pay for a Light. I paid half of what you would pay for a Lightning kayak. And what I have now is a kayak that's going into year 2. This kayak has never left me stranded. I have not had any major malfunction yet. Knock on wood. It can happen. Some of the things I need to do are my 1-year maintenance. See how loose that is? That should be tight. You can stand in it. You can put a lot of shit in this. It has made it through a camping trip. I've had it on the river, but I would never go down a rapid on it. The paddle holder, I like the location of it. It snaps out, snaps back in real easy. The rod holders are solid. Get you a milk crate. Mine may or may not have been obtained from the back of a local Publix place. The milk crate fits perfectly back in there. I just have some screws in the side that just weight down there. Pop one over the top. Small tackle box there. I squeeze my tackle box in between. Underneath my seat on this kayak, I put my battery. I keep my bump board that are fish finder cables and such on this side out of the way. Over here, I keep my tackle tools. This tool will actually come over to the other side. I'm about to use the side bungees. They fit perfectly with a plano box. There's a molded drink holder that goes on either side. Plenty of storage up front. I'll put my boots and my net. My net lays up front over to the side. I wish I could tell you how many miles I put on this. I have no idea. Looking at the math, if I went out 30 times and I was out there 5 to 6 hours each, which is typically normal, leave them go low, we've got about 120 hours or more on the water in this guy. Probably more because I'm probably selling myself short. I can get out there sometimes and stay out there 10 hours. But just playing it safe, 120 hours on the water, a full camping trip. One more coming up soon, by the way. Little tidbit for you there. I love it. 1-year review, it's fantastic. You cut water fast. I go about 3.5 miles per hour when I'm really going for a big guy. That's good. I think if I lose more weight, I can probably hit that 4 pretty consistently. Is the Pelican Catch 110 High Drive 2 worth the cost to you? Well, I'll put it this way. I'll say this. If I were going looking for a kayak today and I had $2,500 to spend, I would be going home with this kayak. I would. This one gets the job done. This one has the weight capacity, the actual weight that I need. This one has the quality I need. This one has the customer support that I want. This one has the cost that doesn't hurt the bank and you can get more stuff. I'll say this, if you're looking at spending money on a pedal drive kayak, you go and you spend $1,200 on this one, you take that other $1,300, take that other $1,300, you get you a good depth finder. You get you an Onyx AM24 vest. Something you can fish comfortably in. You get you a St. Croix Mojo bass with a short butt handle for kayak fishing. You get you a loose Mach Crush 751 reel. After 1 year, this kayak hit the mark. It did everything it was supposed to do and then some. So this year, he goes back out.
Do it! Just do it!